I'm Anne Marie, the Forager Chick. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. We have lots of goodies to show you, all about foraging, homesteading, especially mushrooms. I love everything mushrooms, so my channel is all about what we can find out in the wild and use it for food and medicine. So today I'm going to make a wild vinegar. I love to make vinegars. Vinegars are used for salad dressings or just as you could take a daily dose of your vinegar. And it's better to take it with all the wild herbs and mushrooms instead of just taking, which you can, your pure apple cider vinegar. You know, this is medicinal in itself. It's good for digestion and it's probiotic, so it's great to have. But I like to add in a few different other ingredients just to make it even a little bit more tasty, and you could use it in different preparations. So today I'm going to make specifically a pine and mushroom vinegar. And just last week I was in North Georgia and I got to get, I live in North Georgia, but extreme North Georgia in the mountains. I got to collect some white pine. So we don't have white pine in my area of Georgia. And the way you can tell the difference in the pine is if you look at the pine bundles here and you take off just one of the bundles where it connects to the stem. It has a little connection there. It's called a fascicle, and that connects it to the stem. Then we count the needles. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 needles determines that it's a white pine. So all pines in Georgia, pretty much all pines in Georgia, are medicinal and edible, but the white pines tend to have a little bit more medicinal properties, and they taste better too. It's a finer needle too, but it does have a pleasant taste. And if you didn't notice, pine has 5 times the amount of vitamin C that orange juice has. So say you don't have any orange juice in the house and you just need a dose of vitamin C and you don't want to take a pill, you just go outside, clip a bit of your needles, maybe about that much, finger size, a little bit thicker, cut it up, bring some water to a boil, pour it over, cover it, let it steep for about 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, and then go ahead and drink it. Of course, you could sweeten it with honey. So there's your dose of vitamin C. So what we're going to do is I have a wide mouth jar here. I'm just using a pint jar because I already made a quart, and I'll show you that in a little bit. We're going to take the needles off of the stems. They come off pretty easy. And you could dry this pine. It's actually almost already dry. Dry it and save it for later and use it for teas throughout the winter. Because it's high in vitamin C, it's also helpful for colds and flus and any kind of illness like that. So it's a good one to have around the house. Smells amazing still, even dry. So I'm pulling these off. Let me start clipping some. And just take your scissors and clip it into the jar. Of course, it helps to have a large funnel. This way, you don't have them going all over the place, although every time I cook or make something, I have things that go all over. I'm a messy cook. But we're going to fill probably about half to 2/3. And I am sure these stems could go in there, but I figured, let's just do the needles. You can also make a wild pine soda. I know a friend of mine on here on YouTube, I think her channel is Mona Britt. I'm not quite sure, but if you just search out Mona and wild pine soda, she makes a great one. I gotta try that one next too. So let's see where we're at. Get in there. And of course, if you don't have white pine, use what you got. Around here we have a lot of slash pine, which has 3 needles, bundles of 3. Here we go. Do you see? I don't even know if you can see my board. This is a mess. All right. So next, and you're going to see kind of a pattern here. What we're going to put in there is some fresh organic ginger. And when you have organic ginger, you don't have to worry about peeling the skin off of there. So we're just going to cut that up in some chunks or slices. We're going to put those in there. Then I'm going to add in some goldenrod. So goldenrod has just started flowering here. I'm going to show you a close-up one if you could see that. It's beautiful. There's different varieties. There's probably over 100 varieties of goldenrod. But poor little goldenrod gets blamed for allergies. It's not the goldenrod that's causing the allergies, it's ragweed. And goldenrod is your remedy for ragweed. Goldenrod grows a lot taller, and you can see the flower. It has huge plumes of yellow, whereas ragweed has more nondescript kind of flowers. They look like little balls, actually. So this is your remedy for allergies. We're going to put some of those flowers in here. And if you're lucky enough to find the odora variety of goldenrod, it has a little bit of a scent and taste of licorice, so that's kind of nice. This one's more medicinally, but it's still good. We'll put that in there. My friend Denise put a recipe in our cookbook, Wild Eating with the Forager Chicks, and it's goldenrod cornbread. There's not even corn in the cornbread, but it tastes like cornbread. It's amazing, so you have to check that out. And then the next thing, so can you see a pattern here? We have pine, we have vinegar, we have the ginger, goldenrod. I'm making a cold remedy. So next is, of course, there's going to be mushrooms in it because I use mushrooms in everything. Turkey tails just started going crazy here. So I went outside and I foraged for some. And the way you could tell a turkey tail is it's a little bit fuzzy, velvety on the top. If you could see, it has concentric zones of color. These are the brown ones. Sometimes they're blue or orange. They're flexible. They smell fruity and amazing. The back side is white, pure white. It's a pore, polypore. So you can see the pores on the back if you really look closely. And also, just a note on these mushrooms, do you see the little white edge? That's the margin. And most turkey tails, pretty much all of them, are going to have a white margin on them. There are some look-alike, so make sure you know your identification or get somebody that can help you out. So I'm going to try to find the ones that are clean. I didn't wash all of these off. I don't always wash my mushrooms. And you're just going to tear them up and put them in there. So turkey tails have a lot of immune boosting properties and are helpful for all types of illnesses that have to do with the immune system. So to get the most benefit out of turkey tails, or any kind of mushrooms for that matter, you want to do a couple of different extracts. So we're going to use apple cider vinegar as our menstruum to extract the properties out of the mushrooms. But if you want to get more of the polysaccharides, you would want to simmer them in water for probably 30 minutes to an hour, and this way you can get more properties out of there. But these will be just fine. For what we're making, I think I have a good bit of mushrooms. Oh, look at this one. This one has a little bit more orange in it. Can you see that? It's beautiful. Okay. So, and for just a little bit of extra goodness, we're going to put a little bit of honey. Just about 2 teaspoons to a tablespoon. So honey will also help the mixture ferment a little bit more. I do like to ferment my vinegars a little bit more than just putting the lid on and forgetting about it. So what we do is we're going to take our vinegar and we're going to pour it over. And you do want raw vinegar, raw apple cider vinegar. Leave a little room for shaking, because this one is so much more nutritious. Don't ever use distilled vinegar because that's not good for you at all. We do use it in pickling, but for something like this, it's too harsh. So we're going to mix this up. And I'm using my knife. I forgot to bring a spoon over, so I'm sure that's fine. All right. So the next thing that we're going to do is, some of you that have never used vinegar before, you do not want to put a metal lid directly on here, because I know the metal lids come with the canning jars. If you put a metal lid on top of something with vinegar and you shake it daily, it's going to start corroding that metal. And we don't want to do that because it's going to impart that flavor right into your vinegar, and then it's not going to be good. So you can use a plastic lid, or if you don't have a plastic lid, you can put a piece of wax paper or some plastic wrap in between. And you just put the lid on. We'll see if this one will shake. Be careful with these plastic lids. Shake it over the sink or something. And you're going to shake this daily for about a week. And then taste it. and see if you like the flavor. And if you do, you could go ahead and strain it and then store it in the refrigerator, because we do have a lot of fresh ingredients in there. It'll keep up to a year as long as you store it in the refrigerator. You can take a tablespoon a day just as a dose of goodness, or you could put it in some sparkling water or some regular water, or mix it with equal parts of olive oil, and you'll have a nice salad dressing. You could also mix it with equal parts of honey and add it to your tea, even though there's a little bit of honey in there. Now, I have another way of doing it. So here is my vinegar that I did last week. And you can see the color is changing. It's more cloudy. It's infusing all those good herbs and mushrooms into the vinegar. I have, you see, a coffee filter on here. So what I like to do is I'll take the lid off periodically throughout the day and let it get its natural yeast from the air and get in there and help it ferment and get that good activity in there, whatever you call it, anaerobic activity. And then when I just close it up and shake it, and this one I think is about ready. I did it on September 14th, and here it is the 20th. I'm going to just go for another day or two, and then I'm going to taste it. So you can add so many different things. If you really wanted to make this boost it up even more, you could add some dried elderberries. You could add some blueberries. You could just do the pine, like I said. But I love to add mushrooms, and you know me, always adding mushrooms. So if you like this video, please click the like button below and subscribe. We'd love to have you here. Have a beautiful day today. Bye.